At this point, if you don't already have your books unwrapped, you need to unwrap your books. I see that many of you are eager beavers. Thank you, Pastor. Like that, huh? Is that left-handed or right-handed? I'm left-handed. Okay, I'll put that in there.
Which one?
Okay, so if you don't have your books open, the wrapping off, go ahead and take the wrapping off if you do. Most of you are eager beavers and have them off already. Okay? What we're going to do now is start taking a look at the material. We're going to head to the point where we're going to demonstrate it for you, and then you're going to get your hands on it, as we go. This picture of an umbrella is sort of the umbrella ministry, the overarching ministry of International Evangelism Association. It is Operation Multiplication. That's the singular focus. Dr. Hanks, he has done it a lot of different ways over the years. He's been doing this for 40 years. This lead church strategy that we're doing now with the PowerPoint and the training, the way we're doing it now, is only 3 years old. So it's, again, relatively new as far as his overall ministry. But he's been singularly focused on life to life, one-on-one. He has never gotten away from that, and I praise God for that. So this is our umbrella ministry, Operation Multiplication. All right, the beginning level, and right now you don't need to be looking at the books, just have them in front of you. The beginning level is the Call to Joy. All right, the Call to Joy. There are 2 books. There's a Discipler's Guide and a Timothy Guide. The Timothy Guide would be the baby Christian or the person that wants to be discipled. The Discipler Guide would be, sometimes we'll call him Paul, because we think of Paul and Timothy in their relationship. These are 7 one-to-one sessions. And here's a really important word right here. To remember, please, never say 7 one-to-one or 7 weeks. Never 7 weeks, because it's sessions, which means it may take 10 or 12 weeks to do those 7 sessions. And that's okay. Some people can get it done right on schedule. But we're not trying, again, to meet a schedule. We're trying to build a friendship. We're trying to meet needs. I was telling Soapsack last night about a young man who, after going through all this training, shared the gospel with his 70-year-old father, who had told him early in his growing up, forbade him from ever talking to him about God. Okay? And he finally had the courage to go see his dad. And he told him, and his dad prayed to receive Christ. Kevin got to get into the baptistry with our pastor that baptized him because his father was very feeble and weak. And he was in the water when he was baptized. The very next Friday, one of the men that I'm training to do what I do began a call to joy with a 70-year-old man who had never stepped foot in church, had no idea about prayer, the Bible, nothing. I asked David a couple of weeks, 3 weeks later, how's it going with Mr. Brown? He smiled. He said it took 7 hours to cover one session. And then he smiled and he said, but that's okay. That meant 3 meetings. They had 3 meetings to get one session done. But here was a man who had so many questions. He had no place to even know where to start. And David just took his time. Because we don't worry about that. See, we're going to take whatever time it takes. And I've had people say, well, what would you do if you find out that the person that you want to disciple doesn't know how to read? Whoa. Then it may take you 2 or 3 years. And that's okay. See, we want to be on a kingdom schedule, not a secular schedule. Not to watch. We want to walk with this man or this woman through both of these levels of training for however long it takes. The guy I'm ministering to right now, I meet every Thursday. 7 or 8 months ago at IHOP, we prayed to receive Christ. I'd never met him before until that day. We did a call to joy about 10 weeks. And then he finally told me about the struggle that he had. We didn't even start on a call to grow. We dealt with that struggle for several weeks. And now we're just starting on a call to grow. That's fine. Because what are we doing? Identifying the needs that he has. That struggle would have gotten his way and Satan was using All right? We're not, it's about relationship and not a program. And so keep that in mind. It's sessions, not weeks. And if it'll take you weeks to do it, but we don't care how many. 30, 20, 35. Nobody's keeping record. But we're being intentional and we're not giving up. That's the key. The intermediate level is a call to growth. Discipler's Guide and the Timothy Guide there. There are 11 sessions there. And you'll see in just a moment, they're very distinctly different in how you use these two books. But we're going to show you how and why they're that way. It's that way by design. Okay? So there it is. And notice it's beginning level and intermediate level. You say, where's the advanced level? Listen, walk into any Christian bookstore. We got lots of advanced stuff. We got lots of it. We got inductive Bible studies. The ladies have more. We've got precept studies. And I mean, we've got Experience in God by Aaron Blackaby and all those. I mean, many studies here. That's been our problem. We've been putting people who should have been in kindergarten or preschool into junior high and high school. And that's why they've gotten frustrated. We've got plenty of that up here. But we haven't done a good job of establishing them in the basics. So that's what this is all about. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's why it's important that the people in this room and the people you enlist, Brother John, if we find us a date like we're talking, the people that you enlist have to be humble servants, because they have to realize that this is not about them. This is about the one they're discipling. Because if we think it's about us, we'll go, this is too simple. This is so simple. Well, you do simple with babies. This is milk. You give milk to babies. See, we're not here. And so we have to be humble. I tell people too, if anybody in the group does not have a humble spirit and you think more of yourself than you should spiritually, think you've arrived or something, the Bible says, no. You're under construction all the whole time you're here to glory. All right? But I would always, even in my class at the university, I would tell my students, if anybody thinks there's nothing you can learn, is you taking Greek now and you know Greek or something, you know? Then after class, stick around. I have something I want to show you. And when you do, I'm going to pull out of my briefcase a big needle. We're going to close the door, and in private, we're going to pop your bubble. Because you think way too much of yourself than you should. Everybody in this room is growing. And you will grow until you stand before the Lord or lay in front of Him. I think that's probably what we're going to be in awe. Don't tell us when to get up. You know, we have to have a humble spirit and be teachable also. I've learned so much from my Timothys. I have. The questions they ask, the exuberance they bring, everything. Pastor Young, he calls me his big brother. But I have learned much from Pastor Young. And I'll continue to learn from Pastor Young. I want us to have the iron sharpening each other on the other. And so that's what we need to do. All right, so how does a person become an equipped discipler, ready to take a new member through 7 sessions of a call to joy and 11 sessions of a call to growth? Here's the 2 steps that we suggest. All right, 2 discipler steps. Step 1, to become an equipped discipler by meeting one-on-one with a mature believer and completing the 8-session discipler equipping guide. Now that's the skinniest little book that you have that was right on top of your books. Okay? It just says 8-session discipler guide. Now, even the people that go through your workshop, we ask them to do this. Because you're being introduced to some material that you've never used before, right now, today. We want you to practice with this material with another mature person before you take a Timothy. So the 8-session guide is like Timothy's are the new Christians and people who have never been discipled. The discipler or the Pauls, okay, are the maturing believer who's been on the journey a while. What the 8-session guide is for is 2 Pauls working together. 2 women who are maturing, but they're going to practice together. I want to encourage everybody in this room. I'm going to challenge you at the end. If you don't have somebody in this room you can do it with, that you order another set of material, and when you get home, wherever you are, you find somebody who's also a mature believer, and you do this together using the 8 session guide. And if